your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama community is mourning the loss of a prominent religious leader. World-renowned author, teacher, and spiritual leader Dr. Susan J. Wallace passed away yesterday. Dr. Wallace, a native of West End, spent most of her earlier years in Nassau and relocated to Grand Bahama with her late husband, Sidney, in January of 1998. They founded Access Ministries International for Healing and Wholeness and Access Bible College, a school of ministry. Dr. Wallace's apostolic gift pioneered a number of activities that prepared her to launch into ministry. She served as a high school teacher, a lecturer in English at the Bahamas Teachers College, and assistant director at the Ministry of Education for over 25 years. Dr. Wallace also had a career in banking and human resources. She was the past regional chairman of Caribbean Aglo International. She also hosted weekly Bible teachings on the ZNS Radio Network. She authored and published 14 books, including poetry, plays, short stories, and other Christian and counseling books, and books about the end times. Dr. Wallace's career and ministry allowed her extensive travel throughout the Bahamas and the entire Caribbean to places in Africa, the U.S., South America, South Korea, the Holy Land, England, the Channel Isles, the Isle of Man in Great Britain, and several countries in Europe. She was the recipient of more than 25 awards. She was recognized for her contributions to nation building, writing, culture, music ministry, teaching ministry to others, as a living legend, as a local hero for the Wall of Fame in Grand Bahama, for spiritual development from the CEO Network, an international group, and most recently an award for religion. Dr. Susan J. Wallace was the mother of former ZNS television anchor Karen Wallace and Brister, 4 other adult children, 8 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. Dr. Wallace was 90 years old. And a giant in the Christian community will be laid to rest on Sunday. After serving in ministry for decades, Pastor Lonford Bethel of the Church of God Temple, Peachtree Street, and a native of Andros, has made tremendous strides through servanthood within the Grand Bahama community. Tonight, a former educator is reflecting on Pastor Bethel's accomplishments. Italia Hall reports.
Born and raised in Mangrove Key, Andros, the late Bishop Lonford Bethel is being remembered as a humble man who left an indelible mark in the finance industry and his pastoral career. Former educator Cecil Thompson reflecting on Bishop Bethel's life as a young man, recalling that Bishop Bethel came from a distinguished and accomplished family.
His father was Livingston Bethel, who served as a catechist at Anglican Church in St. David's Anglican Church in Lisbon Creek, Andros, for almost 70 years. He was a teacher.
From Andros, Bishop Bethel transitioned to New Providence and moved to Grand Bahama in the early 80s.
And he was in charge of the treasury here in Grand Bahama. But before he came here, he was a minister of the gospel. He came out of Highway Church of God Temple Incorporated in New Providence, right? And so in coming to Grand Bahama, he was already a pastor. And his official work was at the treasury, but his ministry, he started Church of God Temple on Peach Street.
Thompson says Bishop Bethel had many accomplishments.
But Lonford's story is amazing. To reach so high, to have come from an all-age school in Mangrove Key, and so that's why I'd be extremely, extremely proud of his accomplishment, and he was so humble, true Bethel and rules tradition. Never brag, but so effective in his work at the treasury, and particularly in his work at the church.
He says the noted bishop and former pastor of the Church of God on Peach Street and General Superintendent Emeritus of the Highway Church of God should be remembered as a great religious leader.
As one of the great public officers that the country has produced, as one of the great deputy treasurers that the country has produced. And I think he finished his career in the civil service as an undersecretary. And back in the day, we used to call it the commissioner's office. Nowadays, we call it the administrator's office. But his career in the public service didn't come to an end in the treasury. It came to an end in the Chancery House, where he was the undersecretary. And he was extremely humble and proud of his accomplishments.
Now, Bishop Longford Bethel passed away earlier this month at the age of 83. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
And now it is time for your Friday Sports Check with Ramiko Knowles.
Welcome to ZNS Total Sports, your source for sports in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Topping sports, a veteran tennis player is returning home to Grand Bahama next week, and she is looking to teach the latest techniques and methods in a sport she has loved since a little girl. Grand Bahama, she is back. Professional tennis player Larica Russell has represented the country nationally on many occasions, and now she has dedicated her life to teaching the sport.
It was just an after-school activity when I was at Freeport Primary, and it was sparked by Albert Davis at a tennis program there. And it was just, a different sport because my family, they're pretty sports oriented, and nobody really entered into tennis. I think I had one aunt that played tennis. So, just going to that after school activity, that kind of sparked the interest for me. And I was like, you know what? I was just curious about it. And I just continued it. And, the rest is history from there.
The one-on-one sessions will start on December 20th through 27th.
I always want to give back when I come home. So, I just decided to offer tennis lessons while I'm there. And it's going to be for all ages, all levels, and I'm just excited to give back because I'm just so interested in trying to grow the sport and just trying to get it out there to the masses, So I'm just focusing on doing my part to get the interest of people. So I'm excited about it.
Russell adds that the sport has opened doors unimaginable for her, and she wants to do the same for others.
It creates a plethora of opportunities. For me, I was able to travel the world just by being the top player in the country and also in the Caribbean. So it afforded me a plethora of opportunities, to go and play tournaments to represent the country. I've traveled to over 20-something countries. And the experiences were just unbelievable. And it totally shaped me into the person I am today.
Now, if you would like to be a part of the one-on-one sessions, here's how you can.
I can be contacted on my cell, 727-8295. Also, you can reach me on different social media platforms. For Instagram, you can reach me at Riki_Russell or Coach Larica. And on Facebook, you can reach me at Coach Larica as well.
In track and field action, Delroy Booth, the great Booth that is still in action. The long-distance runner recently took part in the Jacksonville Half Marathon. Out of 717 male participants, he finished 171.
I decided to go in it to do a test run to get ready to qualify for Boston Marathon, which is 2022 next year. So according to my calculation of the time of 1 hour and 53 minutes and 10 seconds with the split, I on the qualifying pace. 2022, God's willing, will be a good running year for me.
Speaking of 2022, Booth says he's looking to start a non-profit track club.
I'm going to open up a track club. I'm going to give back and help the kids to get off to school and the middle distance runners to get in shape, to start breaking these 1,500 meter record and these 800 meter record. I have the skill to do it. I have the knowledge to do it.
And that is your check on sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, have a great weekend.